There he is, there's Janat, there's Philip Fondo. The boys are ready. Ricky Hatton is in the ring. Janat Jackiyanov, the man with the off-white underpants from Kazakhstan, which worried Steve Lillis so much, against Роши Уоррен, a triple Olympian. One of boxing's good guys, Роши Уорrен, won the world amateur title in Chicago in 2007, the same year as Frankie Gavin won it, the only English boxer to have ever won the world amateur title. Where is Frankie tonight, they are asking. But none, that's not what they're asking. At the Huntington Centre, there he is, the Cincinnati Kid himself, Adrian Broner, with Cincinnati Kid too, 29-year-old Роши Уоррен. The crowd seem to like him 104 miles away. The referee pulls them together. And just to let you know, PBC, do not do any ring walks or anything fancy or funky. It's happening. We're going to hand you over to the commentary team of one, a man so far who has impressed me immensely. Barry's still going to be here. Steve is still going to be here. I'm still going to be here. You're still going to be here. Will it be Janat? Will it be Роши? We'll find out. Enjoy the fight, folks.
Believes here in his fighter, Janat Jackiyanov.
Come on, y'all.
In the corner of Роши Уоррен, Barry Hunter.
Come here. Stay there. Let's go.
And Ricky Hatton knows what it's like to fight in
raucous
atmospheres.
I'm mouthpiecing you. Gave you specific detailed instruction to lock them. I'm going to tell you two things. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Touch gloves, bang at the bell. God bless.
And they touch gloves. This is for the Bantamweight Championship. The WBA title is on the line. Janat Jackiyanov, 33 years of age, looking to make a dream come true and take away the title from Роши Уорrен. Uorren is a southpaw. He claims in his mind he wants to unify the division. We have the likes of Shinsuke Yamanaka out of Japan, Marlon Tapoas of the Philippines, also Jimmy McConnell out there as well. Jackiyanov, he has finished 12 of his last 13 opponents by way of stoppage. He's won 18 in a row. Great to be here in Toledo, Ohio for this World Championship doubleheader. Рошi Uorren showing that blazing hand speed. He can put punches in bunches and really utilize combinations. He's also a craftsman when it comes to his boxing ability, pinpoint accuracy. He won the world title back in June against Juan Carlos Payano, nearby Chicago. It was a split decision. Before that, he lost his first world title attempt against Payano in August of 2015, and that was a highly contested matchup which warranted a rematch. A right hand that was placed by Jackiyanov on the chin of Uorren. He took it double, and a right hook that landed, and it staggered Jackiyanov momentarily. And now Uorren with that straight left right down the middle, that hand speed clearly showing is superior for Рошi Uorren. 70 seconds left, round one. An uppercut as Jackiyanov came forward. He got caught with a nice left uppercut, and now Рошi Uorren has Jackiyanov hurt. And now look at baby Pet. He is hurting Janat Jackiyanov, teeing off on the Kazakhstan native. Oh my goodness! And he puts down Janat Jackiyanov. Look at the hand speed by Рошi baby Pet Uorren. And now Janat and that power, pinpoint accuracy out of Cincinnati's very own, the three-time Olympian Роши Уоррен. That's the end of round one. You couldn't draw it up better for Рошi Uorren than how he looked. Look at that blazing hand speed. It was by a combination. It was that straight left right on the chin that put down Jackiyanov. And now Jackiyanov moved forward, and he got clipped by a right hook moving forward. Round number two, 2 knockdowns for Роши Uorren of Жанат Жакиянов. Coming into the fight, if you would have told us that Uorren was going to put Jackiyanov, who is a very tough and a hard hitter, off the canvas twice in round one, we would have thought that you are a little bit out of the realm of possibility. But clearly, Роши Uorren defied that and is looking razor sharp here tonight as the co-feature of his teammate Robert Easter Jr., who's also making the first defense of his world title. Рошi Uorren wants to make a statement as he looks at the likes of Lee Haskins, and also now he's opening up on Janat Jackiyanov again. Jackiyanov walking down Uorren, but Uorren, you can tell, is aiming for that opening barrier and might snap him in the corner of Рошi Uorren. Jackiyanov walking down Рошi Uorren, and Uorren is using every bit of the ring. He's gaining a ton of leverage and aiming for the spots. He's trying to find that opening. Jackiyanov throws punches, but Uorren blocks them. He has that right shoulder up. He's a southpaw. He also can fight like a righty as well. Right snap control, that's in 5 minutes. And originally it was Uorren who fought as a conventional fighter. He's right-handed in his everyday life, but he likes to fight as a southpaw. He feels that it serves him better. And again, displaying that hand speed is Рошi Uorren, but Jackiyanov seems to have gotten his legs underneath him, which is a testament to Ricky Hatton and those in his corner. If you're Рошi Uorren, you want to stay in the center of that ring and then use every bit of it to gain the advantage and demonstrate that hand speed and put together those combinations which led to the first knockdown for Jackiyanov in round one. Also sitting ringside, Adrian Broner, who's the stablemate for Рошi Uorren. Jackiyanov throwing wildly, and Uorren getting out of the way. Under 45 seconds left in round two. It appeared in that first round it would be an early evening for Jackiyanov, but he has adjusted well. He's using ankles, he's bending well at the waist, and he just sprayed Uorren with the right hand.
Push his head down. Push his head down.
And Uorren realizes that Jackiyanov did not come all this way from Kazakhstan to lose this matchup. He flew 8.5 hours. He spent training camp in Manchester alongside Ricky Hatton. Little tripping of the feet there between Jackiyanov and Uorren. And round number two will come to a close.
Listen, you can't stand up this guy. He's too fast.
We have Deontay Wilder defending his WBC heavyweight championship against Gerald Washington. Also, Tony Harrison, Jarrett Hurd, Dominic Brazil in action as well. That was over here at Ricky Hatton, who was telling Janat Jackiyanov that you cannot sit back, you must attack. You need to stay in the way of fire, because if you remain on the outside, he will beat you.
Watch the elbow.
Wise words by the hitman, who knows what it is to be in big fight after big fight during the course of his illustrious career. And also Hatton was imploring Jackiyanov that he wants him to throw to the body. Роши Уоррен placing that straight left on the abdomen and also coming upstairs with the right hook. Ray Flores joining ringside here at the Huntington Center, jam-packed in Toledo, Ohio, as they await the first title defense for Robert Easter Jr. Making his first title defense inside the ring right now is Роши Уоррен. Round number 3, Uorren, a big first round with 2 knockdowns, 10-7 on the scorecard. And then Uorren looked impressive in round number 2, but Jackiyanov is trying to find his rhythm.
Punch out, let him go, break! I got you.
Garrett Dos Santos, a fantastic referee, will separate them. If you're Janat Jackiyanov, you got to cut off the ring, and in order to get and stop the ability of a mobile fighter like Роши Уоррен, he should be going to the body. Putting together those hooks and those straight rights and using the jab, everything should be at the body, because the head will move, the body will not. And a straight left right down the pipe, and 2 straight lefts, another one. And now Роши Uorren using that speed and quickness. And now Jackiyanov trying to pressure Uorren. He will tie up, and Uorren ties up Jackiyanov, and this is where Jackiyanov wants to be. And Ricky Hatton applauding Janat Jackiyanov with under a minute to go. He likes what he's seeing as Jackiyanov is progressing, and Jackiyanov, a couple of uppercuts there. They raise Роши Uorren's chin.
Off his head, drop the back of his head. Break! Push on his head.
And
Watch your head.
Uorren is telling Garrett Dos Santos he's headbutting me. He's coming forward with his head, and he's headbutting me. Janat Jackiyanov, his U.S. debut. He's fought 13 different countries. A nice couple right hands, and it's staggered Uorren, and down goes Uorren, but they're seeing no knockdown. And I don't know about that. I thought it looked like a knockdown for Janat Jackiyanov. Jackiyanov on the attack again, and he just clubbed Роши Uorren. How the fight changes. Uorren, he has his eyes look glassy for a brief moment. I think Garrett Dos Santos, very good referee. I think he missed it, and now Jackiyanov teeing off, and that ends round number 3. Wow! Uorren is saying it was because of a headbutt, and now some blood gushing out of the left nostril of Рошi Uorren. There you see the slip. It looked like a punch. Again, we will look at it again. A right hand on the chin, another one, and then Uorren got tied up, and it was the little push, and Garrett Dos Santos missed it. That was because of a punch, but on the scorecards, it will not read as a punch.
Let's go.
Ricky Hatton was informing Janat Jackiyanov, I want continued more of that, a steady pressure, an educated pressure. Now Jackiyanov seems to be back in the fight. Can Uorren gather himself? Uorren won round 1, 10-7, and now Uorren backs up Jackiyanov with that straight left. This is a tremendous exchange here in round 4. Look at the ability there by Роши Uorren, but Jackiyanov uncorks a couple of punches of his own. If you're Rasheed Warren, you need to stay out of danger and use your jab, keep that high guard, and remain steadfast in shooting that straight left down the middle. Rasheed Warren bleeding out of that left nostril. It continues. It's a steady stream of blood. Jackiyanov clobbered him with a couple of those wild right hooks. And Jackiyanov pressuring Rasheed Warren again. In 3 days, Rasheed Warren will turn the age of 30. He says he wants to have a big celebration, but first he has to handle business tonight against Janat Jackiyanov in round one. It looked like it was going to be a quick night, but Jackiyanov has changed that direction mightily. Jackiyanov digging down deep, as has Rasheed Warren. Even though it wasn't not a knockdown, he seems to have established himself as we approach the halfway mark of round number 4, I beg your pardon. And Adrian Broner standing up watching his stablemate in Rasheed Warren, but Janat Jackiyanov is pressuring Warren, making this fight exactly what he needed to do, and listening to the instruction of Ricky Hatton, who says you have got to stay in the line of fire and use educated pressure. A nice right hook to the body by Rasheed Warren that momentarily backed up Jackiyanov. 65 seconds left, round number 4.
Come on, get the arm out of here, get the ass. Push her. Let's go, punch out, let go, get the arm out.
This round still hangs in the balance. Jackiyanov has been the aggressor, and Warren hasn't done enough to warrant this 4th round to swing in his favor. A lead right hand that caught the chin of Rasheed Warren. Jackiyanov going downstairs. Now Warren hammering away on Jackiyanov for the right hook, and then Jackiyanov answers back. Back comes Jackiyanov. The ebb and flow of this 4th round between two fighters who want to play the WBA Bantamweight Championship. A lead right hand by Jackiyanov. Ricky Hatton telling Jackiyanov he's done. Look at some of this toe-to-toe action. A couple of right hands, right hooks there by Jackiyanov, followed by a straight left down the middle. Back here in Toledo, Ohio at a jam-packed Huntington Center. Janat Jackiyanov began boxing at the age of 11. Originally from Kazakhstan. Round number 5, this is scheduled for 12. As we take a look at the scorecards, identical to mine from Jake Donovan, 38-36 in favor of Rasheed Warren, but Jackiyanov is coming on here in this fight. Ricky Hatton sitting literally very close to the red corner. I overheard Ricky Hatton tell Jackiyanov, pressure, pressure, pressure. He wants him to jab and also keep Rasheed Warren working. Warren is in a very tough matchup here tonight against a 33-year-old in Janat Jackiyanov, who is no stranger to fighting on the road.
Punch out, let's go. Punch out.
A couple of right hands followed by a left hook at close distance from Janat Jackiyanov. Rasheed Warren should be jabbing more and keeping his distance, but he can't keep Jackiyanov off of him. And that has been the story here in round 3 and 4. And as we are just over 1 minute to go in the 5th round, and Warren is fighting He's in a dogfight. Here's Warren, and if you're Warren, as Jackiyanov moves forward, the uppercut, as I spoke about with Terrell Cachet against Luis Hernandez, Warren should be using that uppercut. And Warren is not a fan, and tells Guillermo Santo for a second time that Jackiyanov is leading in with his head, just over the halfway mark of round 5. Jackiyanov with that educated pressure. He threw a right hand over the top of the jab. We've seen uppercuts inside as Janat Jackiyanov tied up though by Rasheed Warren. Rasheed Warren, very proud of Cincinnati. He is well-traveled. He, 3-time United States Olympian, traveled all over the world to compete in tournaments. He said when he was on the road all over the world, the first thing he thought about was getting home to Cincinnati. A lot of Cincinnati have made their way here to nearby Toledo to support Warren in his first title defense. But so far, he is in a very big challenge against Janat Jackiyanov. The man known as Zizi is making Warren work for every minute and every second. A lead right hand, right on the chin of Rasheed Warren. Jackiyanov continues to get better as the fight progresses. More right hands by Janat Jackiyanov and some body work as well. Rosato warns both fighters to keep their punches up. And he'll separate them yet again. Closing stages of round number 5. Janat Jackiyanov and Rasheed Warren. This is a rough and tumble affair here in Toledo, Ohio. Round number 6 on the way. Coming up in only moments. And another right hand by Janat Jackiyanov. That ends round 5. Some concern on the supporters of Rasheed Warren trying to cheer on.
Fetch you up because he drops, yeah? Fetch him up. And also, sometimes, when you feint, you're throwing it straight, it's going over his head. Fetch it up, and let's work that body now. Hey, to that hurt. 3 brilliant rounds that. I need this pressure every round. And when you get in close, body shots, body shots, body shots. When you get up close, bang, 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 yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah? Do you hear me?
Jack, watch the head, and I'm watching the hold on
I think out the corner of it good for me.
Yeah.
Watch him, mate.
Look at that right hand on the chin by Jackiyanov, mixing in.
Watch the holding.
Some of that work on the inside. And Janat Jackiyanov, that is exactly the kind of fight he needs. And you heard Ricky Hatton, who is serving as the lead trainer for Janat Jackiyanov. He was imploring Jackiyanov, body, body, body. Don't worry about upstairs in the head. Focus on the body. That right hand that he is throwing is going over the top. And that is what Ricky Hatton was telling Jackiyanov. He wants to see more body work and somebody that is as fast and mobile, that relies on his speed and quickness. It is the right instruction for Ricky Hatton. If you're Rasheed Warren, though, the jab has to keep coming out. And also, as Jackiyanov moves forward, Rasheed Warren should be stepping backwards and throwing that straight left down the middle, and also mixing in a right hook as well. Because Jackiyanov is coming forward, that guard is open. If he is to be successful as we near the second half of this fight, he's got to be able to be a precise counterpuncher. Couple right hooks by Rasheed Warren, and also for Rasheed Warren, a key. He needs to stay in the center of the ring. Some blood now trickling from the nose, it seems, on Janat Jackiyanov. There was blood somewhere, and I'm curious to see where it is coming from, but I think it is from the nose of Janat Jackiyanov.
Scissors, lady. Scissors.
100 seconds remaining, round 6.
Watch out. Break. High.
Now some time being called by Gary Rosato.
Let's go. Cut it.
There's some loose tape that is going to be cut off on the left glove of Janat Jackiyanov, and now they are fixing the right glove as well. And for Rasheed Warren, you need to go back to that jab. A wild right hook that came on the inside by Jackiyanov, and Jackiyanov warned again for lunging in with the head. Jackiyanov trying to close the distance, and Uorren should be peppering him with that jab. That jab hasn't been coming out as quickly as it was in round 1 or 2. A nice uppercut that got through the guard of Jackiyanov. And Uorren using his angles. This is some very good boxing by Uorren. He's using his legs and his wheels to stay out of harm's way. And Janat Jackiyanov. And chance of Роши here at this partisan Ohio crowd. We're in Toledo, a few hours away from Cincinnati, which is the hometown of Uorren. He's very big into the Cincinnati Bengals, the NFL football team, and the Cincinnati Reds of Major League Baseball. It's been a good round for Uorren, using his boxing and keeping his distance. Also some nice angles, but more blood streaming from the nose of Uorren because that left nostril. I don't know if he broke a blood vessel in that nose or he has a broken nose for that matter. Final moments of this 6th round. That ends the round. A very good round for Uorren. The supporters back in the corner for Ricky Hatton. He's out on Jackiyanov.
You're going to have to fight with him a little bit. Stay with the jab, side-to-side movement. And then when you get to the body, sir. Роши.
Round number 7 on the way. Levi Joshua working on the nose as you look at it. Jake Donovan, his unofficial scorecard, he gave Jackiyanov the 6th round. So he has it all knotted up as we are now entering the 2nd half of the fight. Combinations by Uorren. And Uorren unloading that straight left right to the abdomen, and that's very smart if you're Uorren, the power puncher. He backed up Janat Jackiyanov for the first time in quite some time. Uorren is hoping here in being the bantamweight champion for the WBA. He's a throwback fighter. He informed us, he says he wants to unify the division, and that will have to feature the likes of Marlon Tapales, also Lee Haskins, Shinsuke Yamanaka. And it's possible that Lee Haskins will have a rematch with Stuart Hall. That is what Stuart Hall's camp is campaigning for. Now Jackiyanov tying up Uorren. Uorren using his range and his distance. Jackiyanov in close quarters. Both guys are tiring a little bit. Uorren backs up Jackiyanov, and he spins around, and Jackiyanov, he ducked his head into the ropes, but Gary Lozano says no knockdown. Uorren looks very good in this 7th round. Jackiyanov with more steady pressure. And also there's the thing about mental pressure as well. but that lead right hand that landed. What a punch by Jackiyanov. Now Jackiyanov in close distance. Uorren trying to buy out of it. He has his left glove right by his face to evade the damage. But Jackiyanov remains with that steady, constant pressure, and he's making Rasheed Uorren fight inside. And Barry Hunter, who is one of the trainers for Rasheed Uorren, he says you're going to have to fight a little bit. That's the end of round 7. Take a look at some of the work here, as it was a stumble at Jackiyanov, and right away Jackiyanov shaking his head and saying, no, that was not a knockdown. A jam-packed Huntington Center here in Toledo, Ohio. Wherever you're joining us around the world, thank you so much. Ray Flores here ringside. Coming up, this man, Robert Easter Jr., this is who everyone came to see. Makes his first defense against Luis Cruz out of Puerto Rico. Ricky Hatton is smiling from ear to ear. He is very happy with what he's seen. The adjustment period by Janat Jackiyanov. Now the blood seems to have dissipated from the left nostril of Rasheed Uorren. And Uorren really needs to dig down deep and show the heart of a champion that he has, because Janat Jackiyanov is one tough customer who has come for one sole purpose, and that is to rip away the Featherweight Championship off of him. And Uorren sitting down in his punches, is getting a lot of zip behind him, and Jackiyanov stays in the pocket, and Uorren backs him up. A couple of straight lefts down the middle that seems to have staggered Janat Jackiyanov. And Jackiyanov tasted the canvas twice in round 1. Since that point, it has been the ZZ show here in Toledo. Rasheed Uorren is one of the fastest bantamweights, and now he gets clubbed by a right hook by Jackiyanov. And Uorren gets hammered again by another right hook by Janat Jackiyanov. And Uorren breathes out momentarily. He's putting together punches, but Jackiyanov moving forward. A straight left that landed right on the chin, and that blood streaming, a small, steady stream out of the left nostril of Rasheed Uorren. I wonder if it's impairing his breathing, if that's affecting him at all, because typically Uorren is more active, and he breathed out some of that blood, so it is clearly affecting Rasheed Uorren. A shot downstairs, and Rosato will separate them. We've seen blood on the referee shirt of Uorren, and now Uorren getting hammered by Janat Jackiyanov. His back's against the ropes is Rasheed Uorren. And a steady, more blood out of the nose of Rasheed Uorren. And Uorren backs him up with a couple right hooks, but a lead right hand by Jackiyanov. Jackiyanov is in a fiery storm, and he answers back as much as he gets. He delivers that much more. And now going to the corner, coming out momentarily, and Uorren wipes his nose from the blood. Round 8, under 30 seconds remaining. Rasheed Uorren is in a heck of a battle here against Kazakhstan's Janat Jackiyanov, who is led by the hitman Ricky Hatton. And more work by Jackiyanov. 10 seconds to go, round number 8. That ends the round. Janat Jackiyanov looking impressive again. Take a look at some of the action here in round 8. A straight left followed by, look at this toe-to-toe work between both fighters. And they were very close, and it was Jackiyanov teeing off on Роши Уоррен, blasting him. Jackiyanov with that steady pressure as Jackiyanov was throwing from every which angle.
Good punch. 3s and 4 punches now. You want your titles, man? You want your titles? Okay, set this out. We gotta get out. Let's go. Mouthpiece in. Let's go.
Round number 9 on the way. Роши Уоррен, WBA Bantamweight Championship. His title on the line. And you see Jake Donovan's scorecard. He has it dead even as we approach the 9th round. The right hook by Рошi Uorren. Now Jackiyanov, he realizes he needs to keep this fight in close range again. If you're Uorren, he's got to step away and throw punches like that. A nice right hook to the body of Jackiyanov, but he still can't keep Jackiyanov off of him. Nice tying up. If you're Uorren, maybe that'll suit you well. Throw some punches, tie up, spin him around, and then get back to the center of the ring. But we haven't seen the jab as consistently as he typically throws for Роши Uorren. In the past, you've seen Рошi Uorren get on his jab, use his jab constantly. It's that jab that is flustering opponents, but he hasn't been doing it as much here in this fight. He knocked down Jackiyanov twice in the first round, and he has bounced back after getting hurt in 3, 4, and 5. But Uorren needs to use his jab more. We're nearing the halfway mark of round 9. And Uorren uses his legs and spins around. He places a straight left on the abdominal region of Jackiyanov. Jackiyanov, they tie up. Jackiyanov with a lead right hand. And for Jackiyanov, he throws punches from literally wherever he deems necessary. He's in close distance, and this is where Janat Jackiyanov wants to be. Punches here, and oh, look at this. Left hooks followed by straight rights. Jackiyanov had Рошi Uorren's head going backwards like a Pez dispenser. Another lead right hand. Uorren drops his hands for a brief moment, and Jackiyanov, because the volume of punches, is just throwing, and Uorren isn't able to counter with as much success as he had in rounds 1 and 2. Coming up on 20 seconds. Final 10 seconds of round number 9. Рошi Uorren and Janat Jackiyanov. Jackiyanov out of Kazakhstan, now training out of Manchester, is in a battle with Рошi Uorren, who is trying to rip away the title, and that ends round number 9. Round 10 on the way. Look at some of the pushing and the work between both guys. Jackiyanov hammering away on Рошi Uorren, and look at that, the head just snapping back for Рошi Uorren. Uorren needs to use more of his range and his distance. Blood streaming from that left nostril and from his nose. Janat Jackiyanov is trying to win the world title and take it off of Рошi Uorren, but Uorren has demonstrated a tremendous heart and is boxing well. But it is a very close fight here tonight in Toledo, Ohio. Rasheed Warren will turn 30 in 3 days. He plans to celebrate by buying a multitude of sneakers. He's a very big sneakerhead. He wears a size 4.5. But right now, he needs to use every bit of his mobility to stay out of harm's way and evade the punches of Janat Jackiyanov. And a lead straight left by Rasheed Warren. And now Rasheed Warren showing that blazing hand speed. And he's trying to put together more combinations here. Warren with a jab, and he is frustrated. He has Jackiyanov off balance a little bit with that jab. Warren with that jab is very dangerous, and Jackiyanov is trying to close the distance. And Warren using that jab, it would be wise for him to tie up, and he dropped down to a knee to Jackiyanov. No knockdown, as called by Gary Rosato. If you're Warren, use that jab. He's got that jab. He's moving around the ring with grace is Rasheed Warren, but look at the right hand. Those lead right hands by Jackiyanov. And will Gary Rosato let him fight out of the break? No, he doesn't. He separates them, and that is advantageous for Rasheed Warren. Jackiyanov stepping in, throwing those punches. He realizes in order for him to take this title, he's got to throw it. He's got to score as much as possible in the eyes of the judges. Just over the halfway mark of round 10. The championship rounds are approaching. Jackiyanov aiming to the body. So if you're Rasheed Warren, the jab has served him well. Now a couple of lead right hands that have gotten through the guard of for Jackiyanov. And now Warren with his back against the ropes. Warren needs to tie up and spin him right back around, and Rosato separates them. A lead right hand by Jackiyanov. And now Warren trying to fight out of it, spins around. And if you're Rasheed Warren, and I'm not talking about psychology, or I'm not talking about from a mental standpoint, he's got to stay in the center of the ring. Stay off the ropes if you're Rasheed Warren. Whereas if you are Jackiyanov, pressure, pressure, pressure is what you need to do. And you have to make it a rough and tumble affair. And chance of Роши at this very pro-Ohio crowd as we are in Toledo. It's considered glass country as Toledo, Ohio. How high will the glass ceiling go for Rasheed Warren? Can he make this a successful title defense? Under 10 seconds remaining in round 10. The WBA Bantamweight Championship is on the line. The champion, Rasheed Warren, in a tough matchup against Janat Jackiyanov. Couple of right hooks to conclude round number 10 for Rasheed Warren. Take a look at some of this action from round 10. The jab by Rasheed Warren, and he needs to use more of that. Use the stick. Keep Jackiyanov off of him, and Jackiyanov stalking, and then Warren stepped in to a straight left down the middle. Also in the front row, you have Ray Boom Boom Mancini, who is former world champion, member of the Boxing Hall of Fame. He's checking out a matchup like this. This is the throwback fight, very similar to that of when the days when he was fighting from nearby Youngstown, Ohio.
This is the time. He's slowing. And when he has a burst and he opens up,
Ricky Hatton telling Jackiyanov, this is the time. You have to open up. When he throws punches, you have to shoot and retaliate down the middle and go to the body. Final 2 rounds between Rasheed Warren and Janat Jackiyanov. How the judges have this score tonight, we'll find out if it does go to the scorecards. But Jackiyanov has certainly performed very well, as has Rasheed Warren, who is fighting an unorthodox fighter. Warren with a couple of combinations, straight left down the middle by the Cincinnati native. Warren is looking solid in rounds 9 and 10. Can he do the same here in the 11th round? More blood streaming from the nose, and now Jackiyanov going to work on the inside. Can Warren spin away and get out of this precarious predicament? Uorrena, his nose is bothering him. He uses his glove to wipe away the blood and breathe through his nose. We're 50% of the way done with round 11. Uorrena in a very difficult first title defense against Janat Jackiyanov. And Jackiyanov, win or lose, has certainly made some big business for him down the line. And now Jackiyanov coming on like the Tasmanian Devil and throwing a multitude of punches from an array of angles. But Uorrena with some pinpoint accuracy, a right hook on the chin of Jackiyanov. Under a minute left in round 11. Right hook. Right above the belt line of Jackiyanov. Look at this action between the two combatants. This is how much they want the world title. Jackiyanov coming out strong. Uorrena pulled back with his head straight in the air, and he got tattooed by a left hand. Compliments of Janat Jackiyanov. Ten seconds left in round 11. We are approaching the 12th and final round between Uorrena and Janat Jackiyanov. A tremendous Bantamweight Championship affair here in Toledo.
Doesn't matter about tactics now. Only you can do this now. 3 minutes. You're winning. Let's go to the knockout. Let's go to the knockout. I want you to punch.
He's holding all the time. He's telling you,
I know it's a close one. I have since stopped scoring to focus more in on the action, but the 12th and final round, Uorrena, the WBA Bantamweight champion, Janat Jackiyanov out of Kazakhstan, the challenger. Uorrena starting out with a couple right hooks to begin the 12th round, and now Uorrena fighting with a sense of urgency. Look at this. If he were to gain a knockdown, that would be reminiscent of Adrian Broner and Emmanuel Taylor back in 2014 in Cincinnati. Uorrena and Janat Jackiyanov are going to battle. And Jackiyanov gets warned for leading with the head, and Uorrena isn't happy with that. Jackiyanov trying to cut off the ring and get Uorrena tie up and then spin him around. For Jackiyanov, he needs to resume with this forward pressure as he has a couple of lead right hands there by Jackiyanov. And I wonder, and now Uorrena is getting agitated by Jackiyanov, who's leading in, and he says to the referee, "Come on, ref." There again, it goes distance, and Rosato will separate them. If you're Uorrena, and now we're seeing some swelling above the right eye of Janat Jackiyanov. And his throw goes straight left down the middle from Uorrena, the three-time U.S. Olympian. And some of the tape is loose from the left glove of Janat Jackiyanov, and I wonder if Gary Rosato would check that. He is not. A right hook by Uorrena. He spins around to Gary Rosato. Now Rosato sees the loose tape, and he will implore for the corner of Janat Jackiyanov to cut off the tape. And if you're Uorrena, he looks over at Adrian Broner. Broner is saying, "You got to make this yours. You have to really make an impression right now." They move forward. Does Jackiyanov. Uorrena with the right hook A straight left, and now Jackiyanov continues with his unorthodox, steady pressure. 107 to go in what has been an eventful and an entertaining bantamweight championship matchup. Under a minute left. Jackiyanov fighting on the inside. Uorren goes to the deck based on pushing and the pressure of Jackiyanov, but it was more a push and a shove. Lead right hand. Jackiyanov is so focused and determined, but Uorren is not at all happy with, in his mind, our dirty tactics. Jackiyanov moving forward. Uorren ties up and is looking to create some space. But if you're Uorren, you need to throw more of the jab. Instead of loading up on the power punches, he should be doing what he did in the 10th round and use his jab. That would serve him well. 15 seconds left. This one will go to the scorecards. A close matchup. Can Uorren finish off, make an indelible impression on the judges? And that ends the fight. What a brilliant matchup, a world title affair between Janat Jackiyanov and Роши Baby Pit Uorren. Both guys had to dig down deep. They were in a quote-unquote dogfight. Ricky Hatton embraces with Uorren and also gives a hug to Barry Hunter. This one should be very interesting as we will go to the scorecards here in Toledo. Роши Uorren looking to make the first successful world title defense against Janat Jackiyanov.
Over twice in the first round. That's a 10-7 round. ZZZZ Janat Jackiyanov was in big trouble. Uorren was going crazy in the ring. Adrian Broner and 8,000 people in the Huntington Center in Toledo, Ohio were screaming, crying, cuddling each other. But it wasn't over. ZZ was in the fight, Barry, and he fought his way back.
It was tremendous comeback because he looked like he was got all but finished in the first round. Let's be honest. I think Warren's not a natural finisher and probably let him off the hook a little bit. And I think he's lost the fight because of that.
Barry, Stevie, let's be honest. Let's do the thing. Let's not be an after timer. How have we got it before we?
Jackiyanov 1 out. I've got Jackiyanov 1-1-4, 1-1-2, which would be 1-1-6, 1-1. Well, it'd be 8 rounds to 4. I've got it.
Big B.
Yeah, no, I got Jackiyanov doing enough to win. I think some of the rounds he was taking some punches coming forward, but Steve was saying he was continuing to throw punches. He finishes the combinations off, and I think Jackiyanov there pulled off a tremendous comeback.
I think Jackiyanov has won it by about 2 or 3 rounds, 3 or 4 points. It's going to be. I think it's going to be controversial. I think Роши Uorren is an honest guy. He's been at 3 Olympics. He's been around. He knows the score. He knows the scene. Ricky Hatton certainly knows the scene. Philip Fonda in the corner knows the scene. And Adrian Broner, you saw he had a face of thunder at ringside. His promotion, his friend Роши Uorren. And it's going to be interesting. I've just got a feeling that Jackiyanov might get a shake, Barry. Might get a fair shake.
I don't know whether he will, but I tell you, I got to say about Uorren, he had to dig deep a few times because he felt sorry for himself.
Yeah.
He was stuck on those ropes and getting banged away, and Jackiyanov can dig a little bit. And he had to dig deep, so he showed a lot of mettle there, but I still think, for me, Jackiyanov did enough. He forced the fight, and in a close fight, you always got to go for the guy really.
Now, this is a fight, Steve. Sorry, Barry, this is for cutting you off. This is a fight where the work you do before the fight can pay off now. So if Philip Fonda and Ricky Hatton, men with a big association with the WBA,
particularly Philip,
if they've been wandering around shaking hands, it's not illegal. They're just letting the people know. This is not some kid from Kazakhstan who's nothing. This is Philip Fonda, the Belgian dentist fighter. This is Ricky Hatton's fighter.
A lot of people might not know Philip, but he is a major
He's a fixer,
player
he's a
and
fight
shaker.
fixer.
Yeah.
And it's it doesn't mean fixer. You've got to see the novel, 2011, still available on Amazon. The Fixer. Fixer doesn't mean the fixer, but he is a fight player par excellence.
He worked for the WBA for a lot of years, as did Ricky when he was promoting.
Bingo.
A lot, WBA International, WBA European fights.
And so that's what you do. You do your work with a supervisor to let the guy know that you're going to get a fair crack. You even call Gilbert Mendoza Jr. down in Caracas or wherever he's based, and you remind him, and you just say hello to him. So you're going to be at the fight. It's going to be a great fight. That's what you do. It's called graft.
But I do think that the referee was pretty decent, though. I do think he let Uorrena hold a little bit too much.
Third round, though.
And also, he missed the knockdown there in that third round.
Lots of people online are saying that, that sometimes the referee, sometimes like Jackiyanov was fighting two people. Brian Finch was watching, and happy birthday, by the way, to Susie D. Thanks for keeping your tweets coming. It's fantastic when it's 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, and you guys are out there responding to what we're watching here. The reason why we're talking over this long distance picture looks like something from the 1950s, if only it's in colour, is quite simple. What they do on PBC is they go to a long break. Let's get down to ringside. Let's find out if Ricky Hatton has his first world champion. It was a brawl over twice in the first, Zanit. In the third, he dropped Broner, then Broner fell into him, he went down, and the referee did not, rather controversially, in my opinion.
Ladies and gentlemen,
let's go for the scores.
12 championship rounds. We go to the scorecards. Here are your score totals. Judge at ringside, Larry Hazard Jr. scores the bout 115 to 111 for Uorrena. Judge John Stewart scores the bout 115 to 111 for Jackiyanov. And judge at ringside, Brian Kennedy, scores the bout 116 to 110 for your winner by split decision. And the new bantamweight champion, Janat Jackiyanov.
It's unbelievable. You saw Ricky Hatton's face there when it came to the last one, especially when he heard it was 116, 110. He just turned away in disgust. Unbelievable. Justice.
The funniest thing there, Steve, was Ricky's raised his hand up, and it was still a couple seconds before Zanit realised.
Ricky just could not believe it. Could not, but he can't believe. Listen, Ricky was happy. I don't mean happy. He got one of the scores. He loses a split, Barry. He goes home with a split and he's stitched up. That's beautiful.
When you've seen 116, 110 for the last one, you just thought, I thought straight away that's definitely going to be for Uorrena.
Yeah,
I thought he's going to get turned over.